We are continuing today on Monday, the 20th of Cheshvan, the 14th of November, in Parak Yud Aleph, in the 11th chapter of Mesillas Yesharim. So the Ramchal writes as follows. He says, Od be'inyan znus ha'peh ozen, dahainu hadibor b'divrei haznus o hashmir le'dvarim ha'ela. So this is incredible. The Ramchal says, in addition to the different forms, what we were speaking about yesterday, about re'iyah, about looking at inappropriate things, the Ramchal also speaks about the immorality of the mouth and of the ears. What does this mean? This means speaking regarding immoral matters or listening to this type of speech as well. Ervas dibor ze nivel peh. So he quotes over here the medrash that has a fascinating drasha. The Torah says that there should be no matter of immorality seen by you, ervas davar, and the medrash darshans that it's ervas dibor, even speaking about immoral things is prohibited. Va'amru ba'avo nivlos peh saros rabos ugzeros shavos mischachos ubachurei suneim sheyisrael meisim. And he quotes over here the Gemara Masechah Shabbos that as a result of the sin of immoral speech, terrible misfortunes befall Klal Yisrael, and ultimately young Jewish men ultimately fall prey to these misfortunes. Va'amru od kalamanavel piv ma'amikim lo gehenim. Chazal tell us that whoever speaks about inappropriate or immoral matters goes to an even lower place of Gehenna. Va'amru hakol yodin kalo lama nichneses l'chuppah ela kalamanavel piv va'omro. Furthermore, the Gemara says everyone knows after the wedding what the chassan and kala are going to do. They're going to consummate their marriage. They're going to physically consummate their relationship. But whoever is brazen enough to go ahead and actually speak about it, everyone debases himself to speak about it, even if a person has 70 years worth of good decrees, good judgment going in their favor, ultimately it's all wiped out. Va'amru od afilu sicha kala shebein ish le'ishto magidin lo la'adam b'shas hadin. Gemara Chagiga says, even again, the most intimate talk between a husband and wife, one is confronted by what he chooses to speak about by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ubinyan hashmiya hara azos gamkin amru af shomea v'shosek shnemar zu'uma Hashem yipal sham harei l'cha shekal hachushim tzrichim lios nekiyem min azos aminyano. So again, the Ramchal highlighting this idea that the need for moral purity is so intense that it doesn't just govern our actions, but it even governs what we speak about, even governs about what we listen to. V'imlachshecha adam lomar shemash amru an libol peh Eino ela kedei la'ayim u'laharchik adam min avera, uv'mi shedamor oseach hadvarim amurim, shemidei dabri bo lidei taiva, ava b'mi she'omru derech schok ba'ama lav nilsuhu ve'in lachu shalov, af ato emerlo ad kan divrei yetzera. Maybe a person will say, you know what? It's only for a person who's exceedingly immoral that Chazal were so concerned about what he speaks about and what he listens to. Because there's a concern if he speaks about immoral things, listens to immoral things, he may be enticed to sin. But for regular people, Chazal, a person saying it just to joke around, it's not such a big deal. The Ramchal says if someone tries to say that, ultimately that's the Yitzhahara speaking. Ki mikra malish eviu zichron lebracha l'ra'ayasam. Alkin bachurav lo yismach Hashem be'abes yisoma bes amonosav lo yirachem ki kulo chanoif amerav v'chol dover nevala. Hine lo hisker akasov hazeh lo avodas kochavim v'lo gilui aras lo shlichus damim ela chanufa o lashon hara v'nibol peh kulam mechataz hapeh b'diburo. So he quotes over here from the pasuk in Yeshaya, where the Navi discusses why the young men of Klal Yisrael warranted destruction. And again, it doesn't make mention of idolatry, but what it does make reference of is kol dover peh nevala, speaking inappropriately. So you see from here that even immoral speech is prohibited. V'aleim yotza gzeira al kim bachurav lo yismach. So the idea over here, says that Ramchal, is it's not hyperbolic, and it's not just for someone who's exceedingly immoral that Chazal were concerned regarding immoral speech, but rather, again, HaKadosh Baruch Hu understands that Chazal understood that how we speak often influences how we act. That literally, again, nivel peh, immoral speech, is literally, again, it's verbal arayas, it's verbal immorality. Umishem znusu, shenesar kechol shar inyane haznus, chutz migufo shal maisa. Shafa pishem b'em karis umisas bezin asurim him isra atzmam, milvant hayosem gamkin garmim umavim ala isra rashe atzmo. This is really an incredible idea. We go back to what we stated a few days ago, that even though it's clear that the primary prohibition of immorality, of course, is engaging in an immoral act, but just like by Nazir is the paradigm, just like by Nazir, we create protective barriers around the primary prohibition so that one does not come to transgress immorality to which we are all susceptible, to which we are all sensitive. Chazal understood that even speaking about immoral things could chas v'shalom lead a person to immoral action. And it's not just speech, even purity of thought is necessary, because thinking about immoral things is also prohibited. The Torah says, "V'nishmarta mikol davar," you shall guard yourself from any bad thing, evil thing. What does this mean? The Gemara says, "Shelo yaharher adam bayom v'yavo lidei tuma balayla." On a very specific level, the Gemara says that a person shouldn't have immoral thoughts by day, because immoral thoughts by day could lead to a seminal emission at night. Furthermore, the Gemara says that literally thoughts of sin sometimes can be more difficult than sin itself. And it's a pasuk. The pasuk says it's an abomination to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, anyone who harbors illicit thoughts. So we see from here that not only is the act of immorality prohibited, but in order to ensure that one does not chas v'shalom transgress the act of immorality, one has to be careful with even speaking about immoral things, and one has to be careful ultimately again even about thinking about immoral things. So again, if we tie this back to the midah of nikios, the whole essence of the midah of nikios is to try to root out any vestige of negative behaviors. And we see again, when it comes to certain things, again, we all know that an immoral act is prohibited, but even immoral thoughts, even immoral speech, even if done in a jocular way, still creates a pathway towards sin, and therefore it must be rooted out. We'll stop over here for today, wishing everyone a wonderful day.